talking about practice? I still find that funny. It's been like 20 years and I think it's hilarious. But welcome to Culvert Plays Raid Shadow Legends. This is my Takeover Tuesday live stream. I'm trying to do introductions because sometimes people watch these on VODs and I just want to say hello and thank you for watching. And yeah, so we always try to get in 2 takeovers if we can, but my schedule's a little bit up in the air because my wife has gone back to work and I have mornings with the baby. So sometimes things get started a little bit late. Like today, we're running about 20 minutes behind schedule. Plus, we pushed back to the 2 p.m. time slot instead of the 1 p.m. time slot. So we'll see. We'll see if we can get 2 takeovers done in time because I still need to go back and play my own accounts before the server reset, which happens at 7 p.m. my time. So I've got 4.5 hours until then. I can probably only do a 3.5 hour stream, which is might be enough time for 2. Might be enough time for 2. We'll have to see. Hey, Huck Gaming. You had to spend $300 on an alternator for your car? That's unfortunate, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Not that long ago, like, I guess now it's about 7 months ago, I had to spend $4,500 on my car. The car was only worth about $9,000. And I had to decide if I wanted to put that money in or not. But the good news is now that I put the money in, I think I can probably get like another 3 years out of the car. So that was the call. I was originally going to put the money in and sell it, like put the $4,500 in, turn around, sell it for $9,000 and make a little bit of money. But I've decided to keep the car. So, hey, David, thank you. Yuki, good to see you. Good job in the Clan Wars in King Arthur Legends Rise, by the way. You were MVP of the first fight, I think. Well done. All right, so I'm on my challenge account here, and I just want to play a little bit. I have so much energy coming to me today. I still have this refill. I haven't picked up my login reward yet because it's 500 energy, and I want to have time to play. And then I've got this one here, plus the weekends. So I've got to pick up these 2 here, and then I've got the advanced quest here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 refills, which is going to be, what, 580 energy, plus the 500 energy I'm getting. So I'm getting over 1,000 energy. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to sink it into this Queen of Hearts, Queen's Fury tournament. And that should be more than enough energy to at least get me these 60 teacup points, right? And, you know, people aren't really killing this, so it might end me in the top 10 somewhere, get some more resources, which would be nice. I'd love some Relentless gear. I don't have any really good Relentless gear, so if I could end up in the top 4, that would be nice. I know it still has 2.5 days, so it's like, you know, I could end up in the top 4 and then get pushed out of the top 10. So it's something I'll have to be pursuing. But I even like these coins up here. So I might go all the way up to the 2,100 point total, which is something I haven't really done with my slow roll. The other option would be to dive into Fire Knight's tournament. I could do both. I could go and get, you know, these 40 points here. These 40 points are a little bit less efficient in terms of energy because you're getting 40 points here at 1050. And then if you look at the Queen's Fury tournament, you're getting 60 points for 1,200. And it's roughly the same, right, in terms of energy per point. I'm sorry, energy per, like, tournament point, not energy per teacup point. So, yeah. So, anyway, that's just a thought about what I'm going to do with the energy. I guess the other thing I could do is just do champion training, get into campaign and grind out my next 6-star. Now, originally I was thinking this might actually be a fairly good path for me to maybe go get this legendary skill tome. And if there was an off chance at the Cheshire Cat, I could go do that. But honestly, it's like, you know, this is a tough one. I do need to get my next 6-star though. And I'm getting close. I've got, this is a 4-star chicken. So this will be a 5-star chicken. 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 So I have 4 chickens ready to be converted, but I still need to get, you know, the food to convert them. And then I have one in the vault, I think. No, I have one that's already ready. Maybe she's out here somewhere. There she is. I got a 5-star chicken. So I've got basically everything set up for my next 6-star. The question is, do I want to do it right now? Because there is a champion training going on, so I could do it right now, and I would probably 6-star Takeover. Although Geomancer is also tempting, and I need to rebuild Geomancer anyway. But Takeover is really the more tempting of the two at the moment. And yeah, we'll see. We haven't heard about the Fusion, so I don't know that the Fusion event is coming this week like I anticipated. Everybody else was anticipating next week, and so maybe everybody else was right this time. Sometimes I'm right. Sometimes everybody else is right. But yeah, so it may be that we have a little bit of a delay, which is unusual. I didn't expect there to be such a layover in between Fusion events, because the Mad Hatter event ended a while ago at this point, and usually they don't give us that much time in between Fusions. Even with the Titan events, they've been rolling Titan events and Fusion events together. There's still one more day. There's still one more day that we could expect the announcement. It could come tonight or tomorrow, and if it did, then they could potentially launch the Fusion as early as Thursday or Friday, but I don't know what's going to happen. Hey, Darth, good to see you. Jennifer Panino, thank you. Shooter, buddy, good to see you, man. It's always good to see you in the channel, Shooter. Martine, hello. Why? Who's safe? Good night from India. Wake this late just for takeovers. It's 12:52 midnight here. Ah, gotcha. Well, good evening. Sania's, hello. Man, so I struggle with some of the names. I hope that doesn't offend anybody. I'm just doing my best. Just doing my best. And it's, like I'm pretty well traveled. I know people all over the world, but you never know exactly whether it's a gaming name or a real name, what culture it's coming from, and different cultures have different pronunciation rules, so I just do my best. If I pronounce it in such a way that is just awful to you and you want to correct me, feel free to correct me. It will not offend me. Just say, like spell it phonetically in American English phonetics if you can, or just do your best, and I will try to get your name right. So X asks, how many points is enough to make sure nobody snipes me in champ training tournament? I'm currently ranked like 78 in the world for it. There is no such thing as being safe, right? You simply have to watch your tournament. So for instance, if we go to my tournament, just to give you a comparison here, right? Because obviously the scale is different. So this guy clearly isn't safe, right? Even though he's got almost a 4,000 point lead. He's clearly not safe. There's still 2.5 days left. This is going to change. Some people slow roll these. They wait until near the end, and then they just drop in all their... Because champion training, you can drop in 20,000 points in moments, right? You could do it all in the tavern. So some people will just wait and not push because what they're trying to do is make sure that the top people don't go too far. The other thing some people do is they'll push a lot to try to discourage anybody from even taking a shot, So in this particular case, what I would recommend for like this batch is if you want to go for the 10,300 points, get the top rewards. These are all worthwhile rewards. Champion training is always useful as long as you're not burning out your resources for the next fusion. Get the 10,300 points plus a little bit of whatever, and then just sit there. Just wait there until the last hour or two and see what happens on the board. And if a bunch of people go ham, then you've avoided the melee, right? You've just stayed out of the way and you're not going to waste resources. But if everybody's just hovering or pushing really slowly, then you have an opportunity to go and snipe it or to fight off a snipe. But if you really want this Cheshire Cat, you need to probably either put it so far out of reach that nobody can really think about sniping you, or you need to sit there until the last minute and fight off the snipers who are going to come. Like that's the way you win these things. Like literally, if you can't be awake when this ends, the only option you have is to overspend. You just have to spend crazy resources, which I don't know if it's worth it, right? In fact, this isn't even a Cheshire Cat. It's a 4-star soul here. I don't know if in other brackets that are higher up it's a cat or if it's just a soul. Sorry. But yeah, so you can figure out what you want to do, but that's basically the way these go down, especially in the higher areas, like they're, in the more spender kind of areas on the global leaderboard. These people are all going to try to snipe or counter snipe at the last moment. They're all going to be awake right up until the end, or they're going to have a 50,000 point lead on the next person. So that's why free to play players don't get involved with this stuff. We can't. Hey, Olane, good to see you. Stark Ace is in the house. Ian Godwin, good to see you, Ian. Yeah, I saw Hell Hades pull 2 shards, 2 legendaries, and they're god tier. I mean, I can't believe he pulled a Nekmothar. Nekmo almost makes Lady Kimmy irrelevant, right? Like Nekmo and Lady Kimmy do a lot of the same things, and Nekmo's the better of the two, I think. Although Lady Kimmy is still, you could potentially use them both. Civic, hey, buddy. Stephen Graham, it's not the champion, it's the soul. Yeah, right. Yobi. Yobi, I saw your comment the other day about my glasses. I saw you. You regret not going for the Odin last time. You were in a very easy group. Yeah. Yeah, I like to stay within striking distance if it seems like nobody's really pushing. That's how I picked up Nair Gigante Archer last year. It was huge. Hey, Manish. Silver Bullet, good to see you. Joshua Lynch. What's the best build for Nekmo? I don't know what the best build is for most champions because it really depends on what you're using them for and who you're using them with. But if you want to just look at the kit, you can get some ideas of what might work, right? So first of all, Nekmo's about speed, right? And creating speed for your team. So he has an aura of speed in all battles, which is nice. But it basically, his kit revolves around this A3. So he places an increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns and fills their turn meter by 30%, and then gets an extra turn. So this is like, it's like a 30% turn meter fill like Arbiter, right? But it's on a 4-turn cooldown, which is effectively a 3-turn cooldown because of the extra turn. And it doesn't give an increase attack, it gives an increased speed. So it's a big turn meter fill for your entire team. And then he can go into a second skill, which usually is going to be this. So now he's going to do an AoE attack, and this has a 100% chance when booked of placing a decreased speed debuff and a leech on the enemies. So you've sped up your team, and you've slowed down the enemy team. Then you go into your A1, which is another AoE, which can decrease attack. It's not a 100% chance. It's only a 40% chance. That does increase, and usually you're going to land it at 75% rate. I wish that this booked out to 100 with the extra chance, so it was like 65, 100. As opposed to 40, 75, that'd be nice, but he's still god tier. So you have all of these nice buffs, right? And then you have this passive that fills his turn meter each time a debuff on an enemy is removed, transferred, or expires. And of course, he's placing decreased speed, leech, and decreased attack. So there are a lot of debuffs out there. And so speed and accuracy are really important. You need to land the debuffs or else he doesn't have as much value. And you need him to be fast or else he doesn't have as much value. So I've got mine on my main account. I probably have them in 3 sets of perception. You could certainly go with something like Feral or Pinpoint. Like Pinpoint would make a lot of sense. So would Feral, actually. But speed and accuracy for the most part. Now, I'm sure that there are other builds for him in other content. I have him as a speed lead in my Hydra team. And so I run him with a Shamail. Because what Shamail does is Shamail has this passive that whenever an ally receives a fear or true fear debuff from an enemy, this skill will instantly remove the debuff and fill the team leader's turn meter by 15%. So he's cleansing those fears from the head of torment, and every time he does it, he fills Nekmothar's turn meter by 15%. And then Nekmo fills everybody else's turn meter by 30%. So it's such a beautiful pairing because he's speeding up the team, and then the team is speeding up him, right? Like he's speeding up Shmail, speeding up him, and it's just a really nice combo. It helps if you have a lot of AoE damage dealers in the team, because then you get more fears. You want the fears when you have Shmail, right? That's the whole point. So you want AoE debuffers, AoE damage dealers, you know. So like if you're running a Thor who's got a lot of AoEs, or you're running maybe somebody like maybe even like a Skull Crown, or somebody who's got only AoE attacks, you know, and then you've got all of this interaction, all of these synergies. And so, you know, that's the basics of Necmo, but I'm sure there are 15 other builds you could try, depending on where you're running them and who you're running them with. Yeah. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah, you could run Cursed or Provoke, right? Sure. Don't forget to like the video. Thank you. Hey, Ethan. I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. I've been having a good week so far. I know it's only Tuesday. A little bit short on sleep, but my son is like, he's gone from army crawling to like full up 4-point crawling on his knees, which is just super fun. And he's awesome. He's like my favorite thing in the whole world. He's so awesome. He makes my day every day. Every day. He just is. He's fun. He's fun, and he's sweet, and he's just a good kid. And so yeah, so I get to be with him every morning now, because my wife's gone back to work. And it used to be that she was basically taking care of the baby, and I would get like an hour a day, and that was hard. That was for like 6 months, and now I get like 4 hours a day, which is awesome. It's just awesome. Actually, it's about 5 hours a day I get. And it's all concentrated, and it's a challenge for me, because I've never, like, I didn't have any younger siblings. You know, I was the youngest cousin. I haven't been around babies a lot in my life. So I'm trying to figure out how to keep them entertained and you know, what to do with them. But at the same time, it's just so much fun. So I've been having a really good week. But thank you for asking. Got the latches on the liquor. Yeah, we're baby proofing the house right now, because he's starting to crawl. And our baby proofing method currently is like, we're noting all of the dangerous areas and actively intervening. But what we want to do is like we've got all the outlet covers now, and we've got latches for the some of the cabinets and drawers and stuff. But we've also got to go around and like test the furniture for tipping, because he can pull stuff onto himself. We've got to like secure the electrical cords for certain lamps and appliances and stuff, so that he can't tug at them. You know, so we're like in the process of doing that, but it's really going to have to wait until the weekend, because on Sunday we have family day, and we try to do a lot of that stuff. And unfortunately, this past Sunday, my wife, like, we had a rough night with the baby. She was up really early, so she wasn't up for all of that. You know, we kind of try to give her a bit of a rest, but hopefully this next week we'll be able to do that. Yeah, and then we can just kind of let him run around the house a little bit, not have to hover over every little moment. Okay, so let me actually, I got to play this account a little bit before we do the takeover, and then we'll talk about the takeovers. What am I trying to do here? Can't do that until the weekend, because I missed that, and that was frustrating. I think the big thing is just, I got the Forge Pass, so I need Arena a little bit, and then I'll just burn that energy down so I don't get in a bad spot with it. This is always interesting. Now, when you start getting into gold with these really early game teams, and it's like a little tricky finding good opponents. There are crazy like power numbers on teams at this level. Like, I was just looking at a team that had like 400,000 player power. I'm like, I've got 90, I think. So you can easily get yourself in trouble. Let's see what we do here. Walker, Texas Ranger. Yeah, I don't think my wife would approve. I don't think I would approve, actually. My father used to watch that show, like, religiously. I always kind of hated it. I don't have anything against Chuck Norris. I didn't think it was a good show. I know a lot of people love that show. We all have different tastes, like I wasn't mad at him for liking that show. It's just I used to walk through the living room while he was watching the show and be like, I'd watch it for 5 minutes and be like, wow, I don't like this at all. I don't even like it a little bit. When your kid was a baby, you got 2 to 4 hours of sleep per night. Yeah, so he's 9.5 months old. I would say since he was born, I've probably been averaging somewhere in the vicinity of 4.5 hours a night for the last going on 10 months. There are some days where I get like 7, and there are some days where I've gotten like 2. But I would say right now I'm getting. Last night I got about 4.5. The night before I got about 4.5. The night before that I got like 5.5. So it's been a little bit better recently where I'm getting. It's more frequently that I'm getting like 5 to 6 to 7 than it was before. So. Good morning, Keith. Good to see you. All right, let's go and do a little bit of. Actually, you know what? Let's get in campaign. Let's finish off these kind of food prep champions, and then I can actually get my next 6-star relatively soon. All right, so what we're doing today is we are doing takeovers. Let me just say, if you haven't been here before, how this works. In the description of this video, there's a link to my Discord server. You must be a member of the Discord server in order to qualify. Basically, what happens is when you join the Discord, you want to scroll down on the left-hand side until you get to a section that says the Coach's Corner. And below that, you'll see a channel. In fact, let me pull it up right now for me, which is the Wheel of Takeover. Let me go find it. Okay. So in the Wheel of Takeover, there is a message, and I am going to be deleting all the reactions right now. And so there's a message that says, react to this message for your chance to win a free takeover. You just need to go ahead and react to that message. You can react to it as many times as you like, but you will only be entered into the wheel once. Once I've decided to stop the reactions, we'll go ahead and call it, and we'll spin the wheel, and then whoever gets their name, on the wheel, win. You can only win once in the calendar year of 2025. That's the way we're doing it this year. Last year, it was like 3 months. It was 90 days, but it's like, man, we had so many duplicates, and some people never got them. I thought about doing it 6 months, but now I'm just like, it's going to be the full year because we've got like 150 people who watch this live stream every week. And honestly, like we're only going to get maybe like 80 or 90 giveaways this year, So I don't think it's fair to have people get extras, like double up. So once you win, I'm going to send you a DM, all right? And I want you to DM me back with your email address and your password for your raid account. So your login information. I'll log into your account. I'll start to look at that. I'll also give you some roles so you can join me in a voice channel in Discord. You probably won't see it until you actually win, and then you'll be able to see it. And you can just come and join me. It's called the Coaching Voice, and you won't be able to speak. Yeah, well, you'll be able to speak, but I won't be able to hear you when you speak. You can speak. I'm not stopping you from speaking. But your microphone will be muted. But you'll be able to hear me in real time, which is important because there's like a 10 to 15 second delay on the live stream. So if I'm asking you questions and you have to wait for 10 to 15 seconds before you hear me, then it's just going to slow things down. So jump into the Coaching Voice with me. You can just DM me any responses to any questions I have. And then tell me what kind of takeover you are looking for. Everything is on the table, but a quick reminder that anybody who asks for a gear cleanse, you're getting 20 minutes maximum, 15 to 20 minutes maximum of a gear cleanse. I will do more of a coaching session on about how to gear cleanse, what I try to look for, maybe a little bit about some sets you want to prioritize, but I'm not going to do a full gear cleanse because I don't like to do those on stream. If you are looking for a gear cleanse and you want to pay me to do a gear cleanse, you can do that. If you're looking for a paid takeover, just let me know. You can shoot me a DM in my Discord, and we can talk about pricing and scheduling. And for that, all takeovers are available. But for the stream, like I said, gear cleanses are very short. And I think that's everything. Did I miss anything, folks? What's going on? Pulled Kimmy and Necmo today on one. Yeah. That was HH on his challenge account, which is insane. Oh, Joshua Lynch, 26 days to 1 year sober, less than 60 days till I'm a first-time father. Well, congratulations, Joshua Lynch. That is, those are a good combo, right? You want to do them in that order. You want to be sober for a year first and then be a dad. That's fantastic. That's awesome. Man, I'm so happy for you. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. It is overwhelming, and it is challenging, and it is also fun, and just I'm so happy to be a dad. Just I will say one thing, and I've thought about this a few times. I've talked to some other new dads about it. One thing that I didn't expect, and then you may be different from me in this regard, and maybe some of the fathers in the chat can chime in on this. People say you're going to fall in love with your kids madly, right away, like as soon as you see them. And that did not happen to me in the way that I expected. When I first saw my son, and I first got to hold him and stuff, he was incredibly precious to me. But I was much more like the overwhelming feeling wasn't love. It was like protectiveness, right? Like I felt extremely protective. I wanted to keep him in my eyesight at all times. I wanted to know where he was going and what they were doing with him. And I wanted to follow him around, and I wanted to hold him and keep him warm and make sure he was fed. And I wanted to do all those things. But I wasn't like overwhelmed by warm feelings of love. Like I loved him, but it was like the strongest feeling was like this protectiveness. And I would say that lasted for like maybe 1 to 2 months. So somewhere in the second month, it started to transition over to like me just thinking he was awesome. But at first, like that first month was really like, is he safe? Did he get fed? Is his, did we change his diaper on time? What's his schedule? What's his poop like? What's his, like we're all these things. Let's go to the doctor. When's the doctor scheduled? So it was really this sense of responsibility. And then now, like I'm madly in love with my son. He's my favorite thing, like I was saying. So if it takes a little while, don't freak out. Like, don't freak out if you're not instantly madly in love. And maybe you will be, but it might take a little while. And also, you may be surprised at how frustrated you can get at a tiny little baby when the baby's crying and you don't know what to do. Like, I would be with my son overnight and he would be crying. And so I'm like, okay, so I'll try to feed him. Oh, he doesn't want the bottle. Well, I'll try to change him. Okay. I changed him. He's now got a dry diaper. He's still crying. Okay, I rock him, I burp him. Nope, doesn't seem to be helping. I try to sing to him, get him to go to sleep. And it's like, and after 2 hours of that, with him still crying, you're just like, why, baby? Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? Like he's not doing it to you. And that's the tough thing to remember. It's like there's something that he's feeling, and he has one way of expressing it. His only way of expressing it is to cry. And so what I found worked for me was to just talk to him and tell him things like what I was doing, tell him how I was feeling, tell him, I'm sorry you're sad. I know it's hard sometimes. It's a big, scary world. You don't know what's going on, but I'm here. Those kinds of things. And it didn't help him be quiet or feel better, but it helped me feel better. And so that was how I managed, like at 4 a.m. when he'd been crying since, 2 a.m. So yeah, just some advice from a recent new dad, and I hope that helps you out. Just moments of awesome. Your oldest cried for 11 months. Yeah. My wife was like that as a baby. She had, babies who have colic. They cry for just like it could be a year. They just cry. It's so hard. Yeah, my son very much understands us now. Like he knows what we're saying, but he can't speak yet. But like we can have him wave. Like we'll tell him to wave goodbye to like his grandparents when they leave, and he'll go like this. It's so cute. Or, we'll talk about different, like when we're feeding him, is like, if he's looking out the window at the dog running around outside, I'll be like, hey, do you want another bite? And he'll look at me and he'll open his mouth. Like he knows what we're talking about, which is cool. Maybe you get a sick ass CP sweater. My sponsor is getting me a 1-year chip. Nice. Yeah, I mean, this sweatshirt is not bad. I like this sweatshirt. I like it. It's growing on me more. When I first saw it, I was a little bit like, I don't know if I love it. I don't know if I maybe should have just done a little logo on the side. Like maybe this is too obnoxious. But honestly, I like it. I do. And it's comfy. It's a comfy kind of, it's a mid-weight sweatshirt. So it's not super heavy. You can wear it inside and not feel overheated. I've also worn it outside with like a coat over it and been pretty comfortable here in the winter in New England. So it's a good weight. I've only washed it twice, so I don't know how it's going to hold up long term, but it seems nice so far. And the sizes run true, at least in my experience, which is nice. So if you're looking for a decent hoodie, yeah, it's not a bad hoodie. All right, this is the last 6 energy, and then we'll do a takeover. How much for a recording of you saying those things, asking for a friend? Well, you could just clip this VOD when it comes out, and then you'd have it for free. Podcast, Colorado being a new parent. How's his poop? Yeah, it's amazing. Like, so what's funny is 3.5 years before we had our son, we got a puppy. And I'd never raised a puppy before. I've had dogs, but I always, I was either a kid and my parents took care of them, or, they were a little bit older. But we got a 7.5-week-old puppy that we brought home. And I've showed her on the stream before. Her name is Piper. She's awesome. But when you have a puppy, you just have to, you have to watch them poop 4 times a day, and you have to check their poop for, in things to make sure that like their diet's okay and they're not having an infection. And we've got like animals in the woods behind us and stuff, and she can pick up bacteria, and we had to, get her antibiotics a couple of times. And then after, you do that, you go through that for several years, and then you have a baby, and you're like, I spend way too much time every day looking at poop and like checking it to make sure it's okay. Like, this is just my life. Welcome to your 40s, right? Like, you're just looking at poop for 30 minutes every day, being like, I don't know. Do we need to call the vet? Hey, Shog. Good to see you, man. Have I used the promo code welcome gift yet? I believe so. I mean, I could try it. I'm pretty sure I did. I'm pretty sure I used all the promo codes. I don't know that I used them in the correct order. Yeah. Because I didn't get the Bellower one, and maybe the Bellower one doesn't work with something. I don't know, but the Bellower, I never got Bellower. Hey, Femro, man. Good to see you. Now it's making sure the dog didn't eat the crayons, right? What masteries would you stick on Endgame Arena? Arbaeus? I don't know. I don't have an Arbaeus. I've never had an Arbaeus. So fills the turn meter of all allies by 30%, increase attack and increase accuracy. So if that's primarily what you're using her for, to be like your upgraded arbiter, then you could potentially put intimidating presence on her. You could do that. And the nice thing about that would be that it would also translate over to PvE. So strengthen your team's aura and weakens the enemy team's aura. So her speed boost would be increased, which might make it a little bit trickier to speed tune because you have to do the calculation because it doesn't show up in your stats. But Otherwise, it's just going to mean her awesome speed aura is even stronger. And then if you're using somebody else's speed aura, it will make that stronger as well. So you could certainly use that for endgame arena. Or potentially, for endgame arena, you can always use polymorph. So those would be my guesses. But again, I don't have an Arbaeus, so I'm not 100% sure. But those are at least two reasonable suggestions. Signori, what's your opinion of the stone skin mechanic? Stone skin is annoying. It's gotten a little bit less annoying over time, but it is incredibly annoying, and I wish it was not in the game. That being said, there's a reason why it is, right? It creates a need, which creates an incentive to play content, Hydra, to then take that gear and put it into your teams, and then you're, like you go into arena and you get the... So it's like PvE and PvP feeding each other, in a cycle. I get it. It's annoying. I don't like it. Artak, hello. Eagle Eye and Presence. Yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, huh. Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting the 5-star. Yeah, it should be 2 days, I think, because I think I'm getting the banner next. Yeah, so I've got 2 days. The banner is going to be big for me. I hope it's a good banner. Although I think I've gotten a banner on her. I just pulled a banner yesterday, which is attack, and it's got attack percentage. So it's not bad. It's giving me more damage, but not more speed or accuracy. She doesn't really need more accuracy right now. I'm running her at 289. But if I got an accuracy banner, I could finally take her out of these accuracy pieces here, which I would like to do because I've got better pieces in speed, I think. Or crit rate or something, or crit damage. I don't know. I have some better pieces, and I'd like to remove these from her. And an accuracy banner would let me do that. So we'll see. So also right now, I think I've got 4 pieces. Yeah, so if I could get a 5th piece of pinpoint, that would also be an option, or even go for like a 6th or 7th piece or 8th piece. I don't know. I've got one set of 9-piece. I think I've got one set of 9-piece pinpoint if I want it, but I forget what faction it's for. It might be for Ugo. I think I can put her in a 9-piece, which would be a good champion to put in a 9-piece. But unfortunately, she's got some of the better gear on my account. So it's like I'd have to take her out of this pretty good perception gear. Anyway, okay. So that is it, I think, for this. Oh, let's see. I got some messages coming in here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so what was I talking about? I think we're gonna spin the wheel. That's what we're gonna do. So I'll give you 30 more seconds to react to the wheel if you have not reacted to it yet. And then I am going to spin the wheel. And we're gonna give away a takeover. Did I just collect the energy accidentally? I have been avoiding that energy assiduously for the last 16 hours. And then somebody asked me a question and I clicked on the wrong thing. And now I'm going to be doing takeovers for 3 hours. That's 60 energy I'm losing. That's 60 energy I'm losing. I can't blame anybody but myself. Okay. Let me just remove an account here so I can make some space. And I'm going to spin the wheel. That's just the way things go sometimes. You got to move on. All right, the wheel is spinning. Good luck to all of you. Let me see. I got to also post. Hang on. Sorry. Okay. Who won? Who won the whole thing? Who won life today? Turbo Z. Turbos? Turbos. Congratulations. Just send me your login information as soon as you can. I appreciate that. And I'm going to give you some new Discord roles so you can come hang out in the voice chat with me. Okay. All right. So let's see what chat is doing right now. Yeah, I did that last year too, Keith. And you're the one who won. Yeah, you're the one who won. Live Arena is not so bad. Like, it's not awesome, but it's not so bad even when you're Can you? Yes, you can buy an account takeover. So, all you have to do is shoot me a DM in Discord and we'll talk prices and scheduling. All right. I'm getting the information now. Ah. I heard the ding. Give me just a second. Sorry. There we go. Signore, welcome to the Shadowkin. We have a saying for each tier of membership. And I think last week or 2 weeks ago, we decided that for the Shadowkin, it would be embrace the shadows. So welcome. Welcome. Thank you for supporting the channel. I greatly appreciate it. And yeah, I hope you enjoy your stay here. Take a look and see where you can improve. Your biggest roadblock is S8 Cursed City, but it reset. Gotcha. Oh, yeah. Did it reset? I didn't clear Amius last night. I went to bed. Yeah, I mean, I was only getting 4 hours of sleep anyway, so. So let's take a look at the Cursed City. And we'll look at S8. It may be different for each, location, obviously. Yeah, this is the one. This is the pain in the butt one for me as well. So for the last rotation, I didn't have the champions to clear it either. But I do think for this one, it looks like you're going to be able to do it without too much difficulty. Obviously you've got the heroes to do it here, so you're gonna cruise. So unfortunately, I can't help you with that one from last rotation. But if you're just looking for areas to improve, let's go ahead and take a look at the overall account. You are a level 100 account, 28.4 million player power, so a lot of player power. Take a look at the logins. You're well into the Immortal Soulstone rotation. Actually, before I do this, let me go ahead and make a little adjustment here. There we go. Just to make it a little bit better for everybody. Okay, so Let's take a look at the roster. You have 531 6 stars. Well, that may be the most 6 stars I've ever seen on an account on Takeover Tuesday. That may be. That's a lot. That's a lot. Wow. Okay. All right, you're not great at building, you said. By the way, if you want to DM me, it's better to DM me in Discord just because I don't always check for you in the chat of the live stream. You know, I'm looking for you in the Discord. So, and don't forget to join me in the coaching voice. Like, you've got the role now. You can come and join me. You'll hear me live, which is just going to be faster. Okay, so in terms of general improvement, let's take a look around the account and see where you stand on kind of all the big ticket items. So we'll start with Clan Boss. So Clan Boss, Ultra Nightmare. Wait, let me just. It's turbos, right? Okay. 104 million. You've got a double man-eater. So is this it looks like it would probably be a 1 key for all affinities. But you are strong affinity here with your Dracomorph and your Seeker. So when you go into Force affinity, is this still a 1 key? They're all 1 keys. Okay. They are all 1 keys. So then, you know, I wouldn't probably mess with this. One of the nice things about having a Clan Boss speed tune where you're not using like super powerful champs is that you can build your super powerful champs for harder content, right? Like Draco's a very good champion, and don't get me wrong, he's usable in a lot of places, so is Maneater or whatever. But most of those can be used in their Clan Boss builds, right? Like probably the biggest sacrifice here would be Seeker, but when you've got 561 6 stars, you don't care about the Seeker, so I'm not too worried about it. So that looks good. Let's see, have you done your Hydra? Yep, 170 million on a 1 key for Nightmare, which is very nice. You've got your Acrizia there. There's the Necmothar with the Shamail combo that we were just talking about, right? So that's the really nice combo. You get a lot of extra turn meter fill there. Got your +4 Molly. That's really good. +3 Archbishop Pinthroy. And your +2 Mishinaki. I still don't have a Mishinaki on my main account. I had him. He was one of my first Legos on my main alt account that I ran for like a year and a half. And I still missed that account because of him and Bad Alcazar, really. And Septimus. I liked Septimus. Okay, so that looks like, you know, you're in good shape there. I mean, do you have a second? Like, do you have trouble with your second and third team or something? You probably don't. Assuming you have a second Necmothar and a second Mishinaki. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm not really in a place to help you out with Chimera because I haven't dug into that fight yet. Let's go look. I'm assuming all your faction wars are done. You've got your Lydia, yeah, so that's not a problem. Let's go look at Doom Tower. I'm sure you're fine, right? Doom Tower hard mode is cleared. Let's look at Iron Twins. How many Iron Twins doing? Stage 15 in 1:04. Not bad. Let's look at your event dungeon. Ooh, maybe we could push this a little bit. That'd be nice. I still haven't really sat down and worked out my stage 30 solution here, so this could be fun to mess around with a little bit with a big roster. Let's look at the classic hard modes. Stage 10 in 1:50. That's nice. Spider's Den, stage 10 hard mode in 37 seconds, 10 turns. Dragon's Lair, stage 10, 49 seconds. That's really fast. That's fast. You've got Yumiko, of course. And Acrizia. Yeah. Yeah. That's a nice fast stage 10 hard mode there. Fire Knight hard mode 10 in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. That's not so fast. Not awful. You might be able to speed this up. You might be able to theory craft a faster team here. Maybe. I mean, it's not critical, but we could definitely take a look at that. The double newt is nice. Double newt, double ally attack, and it's almost like if that's what we're doing, and I'd have to take a look at these builds actually. 272, 280, 272, and 264. All right. I mean, it's not bad. Not bad. Sand Devil's Necropolis, stage 25. You got your double newt. That's probably a pretty fast clear. What's the speed on that? Minute 58. Okay. You know what's weird is this might be faster with just one newt. You might be able to do this. And I don't know if it's speed tuned because but I can look at the speeds. I know your newts are fast. Where are the newts? Did I miss them? I thought they were 5 stars. Are they in the vault for some reason? Where'd the newts go? People are probably screaming at me. He's right there. You passed him 4 times. There's one. 5 stars. Okay. Let's take a look at that. In terms of speeds, she's running at 276 and he's running at 260. That's not too bad. That might work. So the boss, I think, runs at 270. Does he run at 275? Are you 1 speed faster than the boss? I think Godseeker Neri might be faster than the boss. So 54,000 HP, 3,800 defense. I'm not sure about that HP total. She might get nuked out. She might get nuked out. Okay, you just got your Fire Knight together a few weeks back. Just try to make it work. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at this. I'm going to manual this for the first time just to see, because I think potentially we could shave off some time here and make it a little bit easier for you to just be able to use without having to watch all the animations and stuff. Not if it doesn't make a huge difference, that's fine. But it's like, I don't know what to do with your account, honestly, because you're so end game. Like, this is beyond, I would love to help you with Centranos, but the rotation changed. So let's go ahead and just try this. And I'm just going to manual it. And we'll see if the speed is the right way. Okay, so she does go first. Now he should wipe us out. Okay. And so we want her to revive here. And then the question is, should he open with his A2 or not? Let's open with the A2. And we'll have her heal. And now he can, but I don't know if that's going to break the rotation later, so we'll have to see. Yeah, and she died. So she can't die to this second, to Dune Tempest. Okay, so what we could do, though, is we could potentially rebuild her. I think it'll work fine if we rebuild her. So let's just all right. Oh, well, she needs to be in regen. Yeah, you want to do that? Okay. Now, if we don't have it, that's okay. It's not the worst thing in the world. I can just, show you what to do in the future when you have a little bit more time to farm. Yeah, that works fine. Let's see about this one. That works fine. How about that one? Don't need that one. That one, no. HP with speed and resistance. That's nice. That one. Best piece with HP is solid. We have speed. We don't. Okay, so it looks like it would be those 4 pieces. And then, I mean, we could steal, but we can always mix with immortal. So if we have an open immortal piece, that would work. And then we would just need a shield. I mean, we want a fast shield. That's pretty good. Take that one. All right, let's max this out. So how fast are we right now? 209. You can run her slow. It's actually possible to run her slow, but I don't remember how slow. And it kind of depends. With Newt, you get a little bit more leeway, I think, because he's not really at risk of dying. And then let's take a look at the. So what's this? Resistance. That's not bad. We might be okay with what we've got. Honestly, I'm just we've got to get the HP. So let's go ahead and just try this. All right, so 60%. Let's go ahead and max this out. Just picked up more speed anyway and more HP. Where are we? 225. Yeah, it's probably gonna be fine. 240-ish. That's gonna be fine too. All right, so we've got 60,000 HP now. We've got the regen, but I want to try to get a little bit more out of that HP if we can. Defense is okay. I'll take that for now. All right, let's rework this one. Just come on, be friendly. There we go. That was really nice. Let's max that out, and then we max this out too. We can. No, we can get there. And I don't think we really need to max anything else out. 63,000 HP is a little bit low. A little bit low. Let's look at the ring. Let's see how the ring stacks up. All right, so what I would really like is HP percentage with multiple rolls. This is nice. We can do that. That one's also good, so we could roll that up. So these two, oh no, that's attack, sorry. That's okay. That okay. All right, so we want this one. We want that HP percentage. We can get it. We can also try a different, there we go. We can also try a different like ring type. Oh, nice. Beautiful. I'll take that. Oh, how awesome was that? Okay. So that's really nice. And now we just glyph it out. And we'll go with oh, you got a lot of 4-star. If we go fast, it's not going to be a problem, I don't think. This could be, you could use a nice glyph here, but I'm just going to use a 3-star. In fact, I'm going to use a 4-star glyph. Come on. Don't give me that. We don't need the accuracy, but I like to complete glyphs just in case you want to use it on somebody else and you're searching for it. You want to have it, make sense. All right, and then again, same thing here. Attack doesn't really matter, but you never know where else you may use them. Like specifically in Centranos, I'd like to have, you know, any good stats for a support like this. I just like to have on. I don't like to mess around and like try. Like you've got tons of glyphs, you know. So I'm just like, let's just put everything on them that they need for everywhere they could be used. Nice. Okay, that 4% was good. And you could always ascend these boots if you wanted to use her faster in other places. This HP is so nice. I'm gonna use a 5-star there. I should use a 4-star. You should use a 6-star, but okay. What are we at? 71.5 with 3,600 defense, 250 speed. It's still a little low, but I think we might get away with it. We might get away with it. Let's go ahead and do this, and we'll see. And if we can't get away with it, we could always try finding some additional, like we could use potentially protection, because protection gives you HP here, 15% HP. We could put 2 pieces of protection on. That would give us some more HP. I should also check area bonuses, because if you get anything from area bonuses, let's see. Sand Devil's Necropolis, you do. You have a lot of area bonuses, including 4% HP and 8 speed. So, okay. So let's go jump into the Necropolis and see if this works out for us now. And again, I'll manual it. Ooh, okay, so right, she was slower this time, which is fine. She can be slower than the boss. Okay, so this is 1, 2. Yeah, she looks fine. Yeah, we could potentially do a different team. I saw this and I'm thinking, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, you're right. We could do that. He's got so many options. I don't know why I defaulted to this one. I was just like, well, this will be simpler. Let's not use the A2. Yeah, I'm just going to let it go on. I think it's fine. Just use Siffy, so. Hey, Darn. Good to see you. Hey, Georgie, you can apply for a takeover when I'm done with this one, and all you have to do is go into the Discord, and there's a little place called the Wheel of Takeover. There's a message there. You react to that, and then we spin the wheel, and you get your chance. I don't think it's a waste of energy. I just think you're right. I mean, it's funny because I'm used to doing takeovers on accounts where we're trying to put together whatever solutions we can. And in this case, there are solutions here that I haven't learned yet because I'm not used to having access to all of these champions. But you're right. There's probably a much faster, more direct team. The thing I was thinking about with this was just freeing up the other champions from the need to be in here. It should be faster. Like once it's running at optimal speed. It should be a little bit faster than the team he had, which I think was about 2 minutes. I've got this team. I do it in it's a 90-second clear. And unfortunately it didn't work full auto. We broke at some point. But potentially you're right. There's just a better there could be a lot better option. I'm trying to think of, I mean, we have Cardiel. What was the discussion about Siffy? Why Siffy? Because she revives with full turn meter? Right, she sleeps, but okay. So you're just saying just sleep, nuke him out. All right, let's look at the nukes. $203 crit damage. Let's look at the other newt. $211 crit damage. So we could go Siffy into Lydia into double newt into reset. Try to do that. So, I mean, we've got Kaimar, we've got Yumiko. Right? Those are both options. He also places asleep. What? You're all I feel like you're all shouting things into chat. Just build him Siffy Newt. That's not enough information, Tulsi. That's not enough information. There are 2 Kaimars. I know there's also a Yumiko. It would have to be this Kaimar, I think. Yeah, Alex, that's sort of what I'm thinking, right? Sleep, debuffer, newt, reset. That's exactly what I was saying. I was thinking Siffy into Lydia, newt, Kaimar. That's what I was thinking. Riho, yeah, Riho could work. I mean, it doesn't. There she is. So her debuff is decreased defense, weakened, but she doesn't place a slow. I don't know if this slow is necessary. Right, so if we wanted to just look at champions that have a decreased defense and a weaken. So Ramontu has decreased defense, weaken, and speed, but he hits 4 times. That's a problem. Right? Isn't that a problem? Because you've got 3 hits from each newt. That's 4 hits. Like, he's going to wake up, and if you kill him before he goes again, but you want him to be, I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter. I guess it doesn't matter. So let's see about Lydia. That works. It feels like Lydia would work. Who let's look at There was a Yumiko here somewhere. There she is. So the speed of the reset champion is important because you want them in the right place. So she's too fast, 266. Let's look at the Kaimars. Where are the Kaimars? $287, which might potentially be okay. If he's the fastest champion, that could be okay. So let's put a little 2 on him. So let's do that. Let's see if we do that instead. So if we do Sify, we want that second Kaimar. Lydia. Where's Kaimar number 2? Kaimar number 2, and then we need the second Newt. Now the question is, Sify has to be faster than the boss. I just want to double check that Sify is that fast. In fact, I'll just check right here. She is 385, so she's not a problem. So I think it's okay. I don't know that you're right. Accuracy aura could be better. I don't know that it matters. I think we have the accuracy that we need. But so this would be Sleet. This would be nothing, I guess. This would be the A1. Poison's fine. We want the increase defense and weaken. Then we're going to take a shot here. We're going to take a shot here. And then we died. So you need the boss to wake up before you hit him. You need the boss to wake up before you hit him. So maybe the increased speed from Lydia is not what we want. Maybe the increased speed is not what we want. If we don't want to change his build, we just want to swap out the champion. Because I mean, we could look at the 2 Newts. The 2 Newts, 260 and 252. So, yeah, I mean, we could slow him down, but you don't really want to slow Newt down. I think we want to get rid of the increased speed buff. So maybe we go to Rio. She's only at 230, though. She's actually running too slow because she's not going to land the debuff at the right time. So that's not going to work. We would have to speed her up. So what are the other options? I saw a Venus. There's a Venus. How fast is Venus running? 269. I think that might be fast enough, or we could maybe glyph a little bit of extra speed or something. Not enough accuracy. Maybe not enough accuracy. Yeah, we could look at a Crizia too, right? That's actually a good idea. But let me just look at this for a second. What about he's running too slow as well. Ramontu lands a slow with 4 hits, which we don't want. That's kind of annoying. We're just in that spot where it's like Let's see if... Are you using this Venus for anything in particular? Okay, so we could rebuild Riho. Okay. She might, I mean, she's also going to land the Brimstone, which gives you like a little bit of security. I don't know if that's security or not. I don't have a Riho, and I don't really use her. I've always wanted one. No, I just think we need to be in the right speed, and then I think we're fine. So let's see if we can maybe... She's got more than enough accuracy. Let's see if we can find something that works here. I don't really want to use 5-star pieces if we don't have to, but we'll do a little bit of... Give me speed. Okay, give me speed. What's she currently wearing? Resistance. Defense. What do we need to get her to? It's like over 270, I think, right? Why is that not giving us more speed? All right, so if we glyph that, we glyph this, we're not getting there. But maybe... Oh, attack speed boots. I mean, attack percentage boots. Okay, so that's an easy fix then. If there are any free speed boots, there are none. Maybe in speed. Are there any free speed boots? No. What about here? Nope. What about here? Nope. What about here? Those are nice boots for somebody else. Those are too good to put on her, I think. There's one in speed. Oh, there is. Okay, nice. We could potentially do that, and then let's look at these two pieces, which weren't great anyway. In perception. Good eye, by the way. Thank you. And then let's... Okay. Let's see what we've got. Man, it's just hard to look at this screen without my glasses. Flat attack. All right. That's a nice piece for her. We could maybe make that work. Roll that up. That's not a bad piece either. But let's go ahead and roll this one up and see how it rolls. I'd like at least one roll into speed, if not two. Give me one. There we go. Give me one more. Okay. Now we're at 279. And stats are good. Accuracy is still good. Obviously, we could get more here. Actually, let's take these off and see what happens. Or 275. We don't need to make those swaps. And that's actually more defense. Okay, let's just glyph those out then. 4-star, 4-star, 4-star. Got a lot of glyphs. A lot of 4-star glyphs. I'm jealous. I burned through all my 4-star glyphs. Give me a real number. Wow, that was rough. That was a little bit of a rough one there. This one doesn't matter as much. But we'll put some resistance on her anyway. A little more accuracy. And let's go ahead and ascend this boot to see what happens. Okay. All right. So I think we've got our speed tune now, or we've got our team at least. Let's go ahead and jump into Sand Devil's Necropolis. Who are we pulling? We're pulling her, right? So hopefully this drops our speed enough. But if it doesn't, then we're gonna have to drop speed off of that newt. And Riho was up near the front, right? Okay. That's not gonna do anything. So we're gonna stick with the accuracy. You think I want the slower Kaimar, not the faster one? I need the Kaimar to either be slower than both newts or faster than both newts. He can't be in between them, right? So let's look at them just in case. So this one is at 248 and this one is at 287. So either one is fine. It doesn't matter if you're faster or slower, I don't think. I think it's fine. We'll see. Like, potentially you're getting an extra hit on the boss, right? So is that why you're thinking that? All right, so this is the debuff here. Okay. Boss, see, the boss needs to wake up right here, and we didn't wake up the... We're going to wake up the boss with hits, so we're going to die again. So we're not slow enough yet. Right? What you need is the boss to wake up, and then you get a whole extra turn meter in order to kill the boss. So the Kaimar doesn't impact that at all. Oh, look at that. That's too funny. I don't know what to do about that. Push back that turn meter, why not? Here's a question. Do you think we could get around? Nope. All right, so I think we need to drop some speed off the newt. I think that's what we have to do. So let's take a look. This newt is running at 252. That's the slower one. So potentially, maybe get him out of these reflex boots, which aren't playing anyway, and just get him into regular boots. I wouldn't mind seeing him in like a better build as well. So we could, if we're going to rebuild this guy, like we could go for a real rebuild here. So Yeah, you want to rebuild? Okay, let's see if we can do a good rebuild on him. So let's go crit damage with crit rate here. We'll see what's available. And if we don't have to steal too much, we won't steal too much. That's not great. Let's go ahead and roll this one up. Hit crit rate, please. All right, that is disappointing. We've got space here. Let's go, all right. We'll use up some perception, I guess. Let's do gloves. And let's go ahead and do these two. We don't necessarily need to put in mythicals. For substats, we want crit rate. And let's see if we can get a good crit damage gauntlet here. Preferably with crit rate and speed, but again, we're trying to get him a little bit slower, so that's okay. If it doesn't have speed. Crit rate that might be usable on somebody. That's not awful. That's not awful. You really don't need 5-star pieces, but if we find the particular 5-star, that's what we want as a main stat, but we need crit rate there. Like, that's not awful either, right? Like, these are not awful pieces. But it's hard to say. I mean, you've got enough room that we'll just collect for a little bit. Hey, Tom, I'm doing all right. Good to see you. Crit damage with crit rate. There we go. Even though it's 5 stars. Speed and crit rate. No, that's 5 stars. We'll get rid of that for you. We don't need any more 5-star gear unless it's so nice, right? So nice. But speed's only 4. You need 6-star gear, and that's it. You should be forging. You've got 10,000, Magisteel bars you want to be forging. And you should be looking for 6-star gear with, 2 or 3 good substats each time. All right, so let's go back. Can't help myself. Can't help myself. All right, so we were looking at which newt here? I think we were looking at this newt. Okay. So, primary crit damage, substat crit rate, and we've got this piece. So let's see if this rolls. Don't give me attack rolls. Give me crit rate rolls. You gotta be kidding me. Finally, still low. I'm almost just tempted to just go with the 7% and hope. So rather than waste a lot of time, we'll do that for now and see if we can get it anyway. All right, so let's go ahead and look at speed boots with crit rate substats. This is nice. It's got defense, crit rate, and crit damage. I mean, it's not bad. Who could we potentially steal from here? Yeah, let's also make crit damage. Let's see what the subsets are. All right, let's try this. And then let's go chest piece, defense, crit rate. That's 19%. It's only 5-star, but that's okay. Don't want that one. I think you're using both of these Mishinakis, right? We saw them in various teams. Yeah, I think our gear is a little bit limited here, and you could just be forging a lot of perception. You want to forge lethal when you can, but there's a little bit of limitation here is probably on your gear, which makes sense, by the way, because you have 500 6-star champions. So you have to have a lot of gear. And it's just hard to do that. It's just hard to find all that gear. Okay, now let's look here, and we want crit rate, crit damage if possible. Let's go look at feral because we want pieces that match that. Triple crit rate with crit damage. That's nice. This is nicer, though. It gives us a little bit more speed. I'd like to probably... I know he said 252 is too fast, but I'd probably like to keep them... We're going to have a lot of different... Yeah, I think we can trade away speed. I don't think we need the speed. All right. And then... This is the third feral piece. It's more accuracy, right? I think we're fine on accuracy. Kind of like kill stroke as well, but... Let's look at crit damage, triple roll. Beautiful. That's what we... All right. Now we lost a ton of speed. Now we lost so much speed. Like, I don't want him that slow. So in this case, and we're at 105. Let's see. Let's see, what was this? We did that. We lose a little bit of crit damage. But then we could potentially put this one. See what we land on here. Accuracy is good. Send this. HP. Send this. HP. HP percentages are okay. HP percentage across the board. I think we'll glyph them to like... We'll try to glyph them. Let's see. 1, 2. We only have 2. What about this weapon here? We're still under 100% crit rate, aren't we? Yeah, we are. And that's got 15% crit rate. That's got 12. 11. That's the one that we missed on. It's still that piece. Right? We just need to hit once on that piece, which is like irritating. Let's look for damage again. What about this one? 6. This one is the one. That's annoying. But that's 100%, right? We're getting into a different build that isn't better, which I don't like. I mean, we're getting more HP and defense, more survivability, but we're not really pushing the crit damage as much as I would like to. It's not bad because with the debuffs up, Newt will he'll probably for this he'll max out. Like he'll hit the cap. But you don't get it for other content because sometimes you don't have a decreased defense and weaken. Now, as far as the speed is concerned, I'm wondering if he's going to have to go twice before the boss. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm a little bit worried. All right, I'm gonna make this swap here, and we're gonna throw a little bit of speed on him. I don't think we're gonna get him to where I want him to be. I want him to be at like 206. But I think we're probably going to end up at like 201 or something. $198. Unless we got the speed here. But try that one time. Or 2 times. Or 3 times. Damn it. All right, last one. Now we're on attack instead of HP. This is a boot worth spending dust on, though. Like, I would spend all of my dust on this boot over and over and over again until you landed where you need to be. I honestly would. He needs to be 240 plus. So he needs to be slow enough to go after the boss the first time, but fast enough to go before he goes a second time. I want to see something. I want to see this. I want to see this. It's not that I don't believe you. I want to see the break point here. Why am I back to Siffy? Wow. Okay. Yeah, he doesn't need to be that fast. Okay, so I think we've got this. We just need to put it into the AI now. So I think we can pull this one out. All right, so we're going to do... We'll start with Newt. And then I think the other Newt's right here, right? And we want the second Kaimar. And the Newt and the Siffy is up higher, I think. And the Riho is the top champion, right? Siffy and Riho. All right, so how we want this to work is Prince Kaimar is going to open with his A1. And he's going to prioritize that. And we want Siffy to open with her A1. And then I think we just prioritize the A2. We want Newt to prioritize that both times. We want Riho to prioritize that. I think that's it. So let's see if it works. $16 seconds, 11 turns. There might be a faster version of this, like there might be, I don't know. But that feels pretty good. That feels really good in terms of turn meter, like Sand Devils and Necropolis turn attack tournaments, but also in terms of time, right? And we just got some of our dust back. So this feels like a nice place to be for, and in fact, I think there's a Sand Devils tournament right now, isn't there? Sand Devil turn attack. It's going on for 14 hours. So if you wanted to spend the gems or the energy to go up and get, the prism shards, you could certainly do it with this team relatively quickly, right? Because you're talking about with the loop, it's under 25 seconds. So. Oh, the Fire Knight team. That's interesting. Yeah, we didn't. Okay, let's see. First of all, is there energy here? I don't want to take that energy. All right. About here. Nope. Okay. So the Fire Knight team now. So let's see if we can get a Fire Knight team that works here. I don't think the speed of Newt is particularly an issue with this team. I think what we need to do is find better wave clear. See, I think the Valkyrie here is not needed. I think I would probably look for somebody who just crushes waves. And I don't know if one of these two mythicals would do that for us. Either Frolny or Garrel. I think Garrel is a pretty good wave clearer, isn't she? Places a provoke. What about Frolny? Frolny seems pretty crazy good. How's her build? Slow, but not awful. Um, let's look for a second. See. Um, okay. He's not in a bad spot. He's close. He's definitely close. Weak crit damage, though. We could build this guy from scratch. Yeah, we've got... You know, one of the things I'm thinking about is, like, bringing in a Necmothar. Now, Necmo does... Holy cow, we got 3 of them. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I just pulled my Wallmaster 2 turbos. So this is the fastest one with the Relentless, which is pretty interesting, and it actually has the accuracy we need. This one's got a heart on it. Is this one speed tuned for something? Is this speed tuned for Hydra or something? Yeah, you use them in Hydra, but are they speed tuned for Hydra, or are they just kind of like thrown together and you put them out there? Maybe speed tuned. Okay. So Necmo doesn't have a lot of hits, but we have 2 ally attackers and 2 newts. So I'm kind of like, if we get more speed, we could get a decreased speed on the boss, which we really want, then that might be enough. It might not be, but it might be enough. I mean, we don't have a ton of wave. We just don't have wave clear, which is the problem. I saw a Shiramani who we could certainly use. We could also use Yakarl. But then that doesn't solve the speed problem. We could potentially pull one of the newts out. We don't need 2 newts here. We could bring in Yakarl and Necmo or something like that. I'm trying to think of... If we had a really fast Seeker, that would solve the problem. No, I don't know that I run that fast, Logan, on mine. I have these same 2 ally attackers. I run Cardiel and Lady Mikage with 1 newt, a Neldor, and I want to say a Ragash. I think that's my team. And my Cardiel is decently fast. He might be over 320. Actually, my Lady Mikage might also be over... They're both over 300. So, I don't think they always were. We didn't get any... we didn't get the slow out, and we also didn't get the turn meter decrease. If we don't have enough accuracy for the turn meter decrease, then it's not going to matter. So he needs to go now, and then we can use the counterattacks. We'll break the shield on this one. but now we have to not let the boss go. I think we get a... We didn't get an ally attack. Damn it. So it's the next one. That newt's gonna die. Yep, that newt died. If that newt hadn't died, we would have been fine. All right, let me check something. First of all, I think we got to put the newts at the back. Newt shouldn't be in front; they should be in the back. This newt might not have the accuracy anymore. This newt should. We've also got speed. Looks like we got speed from the... No, maybe not. Okay. All right, so for round 2, we can open and then not use. And we can open and not use. Oh, whoops. Yeah, I want to... Right. Okay. Sorry, I should redo the team. Cardiel, who I love. He's like my favorite. Where are you at, Angel Boy? There you are. And then we'll put Lady Mikage, and then we're doing Nekmothar. But we're doing the Nekmothar with the heart symbol. Got to remember that. And there are a whole bunch of Nekmothars. We've got so many freaking heroes. Dude, this is crazy, this champion roster. This is insane. There he is. And then we got Newt and then Newt, right? That's what we're doing. Newt. The second one is close. There it is. All right. And then what we would do here is, again, on round 2, we could open with this and then don't use. We could open with this and don't use. And for them, we can open with this and don't use. And open with this, don't use. And then on round 3, we're going to turn this off. And we're going to turn this off. We want to open with this one, and it should be the first choice. For this, we want to open with it, and it should be the first choice. And I think for him, yeah, that's fine. For him, we probably want to open with this and then don't use. And then here we want to open with it. Be the first choice. No, newts aren't using A2. They're turning them off. And then the question is, do we open with these? So we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 9, 18, 19. Yeah, I think we open with these. Okay. I think we're good. I think it'll work. Yeah, I was thinking about that, Logan, but I think I'm going to open with both A1s. Hopefully, we'll get the slow out, and then it's just about not letting the boss get a turn. And the reason you put the newts at the back, and I should have done it before, is because in the ally attack, you want them to attack last. So when the shield breaks, you still get the, the chance of decreasing the turn meter. You don't have to switch off the switching. She won't switch. The shield is going to be up when Necmo has his turn. Yes. I want the increased speed. But you're right. That could be something that we could switch and experiment with, like make him open with his A1, and then he'll get the decreased speed out on the next turn. That could happen. But I want the increased speed buff, and unfortunately, there's no real easy way to force that particular reversal of skills for him. You can only, I think you can only manual it. I can't think of off the top of my head the way you could, like, you can't reverse his A2 and A3 in the, in the presets. That's nice. Okay, so now we're going to get the second ally attack, and we should push back turn meter quite a bit here. So we did need the extra A1. We get the decrease attack at least, which is not bad. And the block debuffs. Without the A2s, we won't get the counterattacks, which means we're going to have to go around again. I could actually turn the A2s back on, potentially. But so what happened there with one of the newts is not landing his turn meter reduction. Okay, so both of them landed it there, but the first time around, they did not. We still need the slow. There's the slow. Okay. Now with the slow, we're probably home free, but this is a long solution. So I don't know that this is any better than what we had before. The problem, of course, being that we broke the newt. So we might need to survive with this for a little while until we can get better gear. And get that newt back up a little bit in terms of speed and accuracy. Yeah, this is far from perfect. But I think it'll work. I think it'll work. That being said, if we slowed this down from a whatever it was, it looked like it was 3 or 3.5 minutes down to 4 minutes, and we turned Sandel's Necropolis from 2 minutes to 11 seconds, it's probably a good trade. But I feel, yeah, this was 3.5 minutes, so now it's 4:05. It's not a big change. It's not that bad. But I do think that one of the things that we got to watch out for here is the accuracy. I think one of those newts might be running a little low. So he's fine. He's 479. So this is low. And this was the fast newt. So let's see. It's a lot of speed. It's a lot of speed. All right, let's just just look at rings here. We could do this. What's it? So that would get you a little more accuracy. I mean, we would re-roll the stats anyway. We'd probably do fine. Feels like you need to get into the event dungeon a little bit more. You just want to pick up accessories, get some good accessories, 6-star stuff if you can. Okay, so what about... Yeah, it just feels like this accuracy is low for that dungeon. I think that's what it is. So let's go look. I think you need... Do you need 425? Is that what you need? All right, so come here to the raid stages tool. Dungeons, Fire Night, hard mode, and you need 345. 345. So we're actually not that far off. I think we're at 290. We need to pick up 55 accuracy. That's it. Let's roll this and just see if we get close. So we get close on the speed. No, that's going the wrong way. That's better. That's quite a bit better. All right, so this piece is got no crit rate on it, and it's got no good stats. It's got like no good stats on it. Let's see if we can find something that's got a little bit better punch. We would like... Maybe I should put crit damage. Yeah, we could do that as well. You're right. But I mean, I think probably this could end up being a good swap. And that's going to get us 20 accuracy. And what did we say? We need 345, right? So I'm just trying to like if we could change that chess piece out, which is doing nothing in the build. I mean, the chess piece is the worst piece in the build, right? So but we need the crit damage. That's the thing that it has, that crit damage. Not that we need a ton, we just don't want to lose a ton. That's a nice piece. Actually, a very nice piece. Yeah, we just don't have options. I mean, this is the only one that's unaccounted for. And it doesn't have accuracy. So even if we rolled speed, like there's no real point there. It's close. Fire Knight's Castle has, has a lot of area bonuses already. So we are getting 32. But let's go check this guy. Let's go check this guy. This is the faster new, right? And that's the slow one that we rebuilt. That's this one. Okay, so if we look at his total stats for Fire Knight's Castle, 322. So I think if we just make the ring change, we're going to get to our 345. I think that's all we have to do. I think we're going to be 344. Is that what we're going to do? I think we needed to pick up 20, but we're there. That's fine. Roll defense. HP is okay. Roll defense. HP is okay. Roll defense. HP is okay. It's just, I knew that was happening. That was like clearly going to happen. Whatever. He doesn't use attack, but again, you might swap this ring onto somebody else. You knew that was happening. Right? That had to happen. All right. So we didn't change the speed at all. We actually picked up a little bit of defense. We only lost like 1,000 HP. But we picked up some defense. And now, if we look at the stats, where is he in terms of Fire Knight's Castle? 345 on the nose. Okay, so he was actually 345. That's too funny. That is too funny. So now let's just try one more time, because I think if we get that extra turn meter reduction in, we might be able to come back around to Nekmothar's slow. Now, if not, we could try the other combination of skills from Nekmothar. Yeah, we just took a quick look at relics. I don't want to do too much to the champion. I'm trying to like not change him that much. But I think we're in a pretty good place. I like the work that we did on Sand Devil's Necropolis. That felt pretty good. By the way, thanks for getting me off the Godseeker and Eerie thing, whoever that was. I mean, a couple of you were like, why are you doing this? But yeah, it's just, it's just a weird mentality. I'm only now on my account really starting to change my mentality towards like getting better at speed running stuff, It's only been happening for a few months. unused feral chess piece. Yeah, I was looking for a defensive percentage chess piece, which I didn't see any. There were some other pieces which would have been okay. But we hit the 345, so I think we're all right. And the thing is, even when he missed, I think we still won. It just took 4 minutes, right? So I'm hoping this shaves, 30, 40 seconds off the time if it succeeds. If it doesn't, we still have a 4-minute run that's going to be successful. It might also make sense to turn the A2s back on to get the counterattack for the second hit. I just don't like it because you end up using it against the boss on like the next cycle. And that means you're not decreasing the turn meter. Now, if we could get somebody else in here that maybe, like other than Necmo, who could do the increased speed. Okay, so that's a good turn meter decrease. There's the slow. Turn meter, no, that's just the new. But now that we have the slow out, I think we're good. So now I think we can break this maybe without the ally attack. Maybe not. There we go. There we go. It's going to end up being about the same amount of time. We didn't quite cycle faster. We got close, though. All right, I'm tempted to try something else. Let's just try to see for comparison what happens if we bring in our very fast super fast. Where'd you go? Where is your face? I don't see your face. It's hard sometimes because there's so many faces. All of these faces. Wow. Okay. Let's try again. There she is. Okay, so let's say we open with that and then don't use. And then let's say on the second one, we just don't use. And then on this one, we open with this. And then we prioritize this. See what happens there. So we don't have a slow. We still have the increased speed, but we get the damage buffs out both for the waves and for the boss, potentially. And since it didn't seem like the slow was really playing that much anyway, then don't worry about it, right? So let's see if we can't just do more damage. Do it faster. Yeah, I thought about Kaimar too, because then we could reset the ally attack. So I did think about that. We might try that next. Yeah, I definitely think Kaimar is also an option. So one of the things I said when we started working on this team was like I'd rather have more wave clear. That's why I brought in Lydia first, because she could speed up the wave clear. She's not going to speed up this particular wave, but the first wave was a little bit faster, and she might speed up the boss. We'll have to see. If we could get down to 3 minutes, like just so it's a little bit faster than the previous build, and yet we still did the Sand Devil's Necropolis with the rebuild. Like I would be happy with that combo. That would feel like a legitimate progress, on the takeover then. Yeah, if you build Kaimar for a lot of damage and then you can land the sleep and then you have the reset, and probably you could do some work with them. But we could also think about Yumiko, although she's too slow. I think we did think about Yumiko. Kaimar, the one Kaimar is definitely fast enough because I think he's like 280 ish. This was a very slow wave clear. Wow. That was crazy slow. I almost feel like I should transform Mikage on that wave. It's already 235. Didn't we get here a lot faster last time? I told you not to. That's irritating that she opened with that skill. And they missed their debuffs. They missed their damage reduction, or he just had so much turn meter it didn't matter. I must have misprogrammed it in the AI. So this is not going to be any better. Tomb Lord? Hayton Satan? Is that your name? I just noticed that. The speeds really depend, because it depends on like if you have turn meter fill or increased speed buffs and stuff like that. I run a double ally attack, and both of my ally attackers, and I use the same two here, I think are somewhere in the vicinity of like 310 to 330. My Newt runs at around 265, I think. So it does kind of depend on. All right, I don't think it's going to work anymore. It does kind of depend on like the whole combo and what you're running, but you have to run very fast. You have to run very fast for this dungeon, more than almost any other dungeon. You have to run fast here. So let's put in that first Kaimar. Again, am I not seeing them? There's like too much. Ooh, now I'm thinking about Thor. Now I'm thinking about Thor. And there was I saw the Kaimar, but Razzlevarg. What about Razzlevarg? What about Razzlevarg? Thor. Let's look at these two champions. Okay. How's he built? 222. The thing is, he has a decreased speed on this. Plus, he's got a double hitter. and he can help us wave clear. So that's a thought. That's a thought. And then the other one was Razzlevarg. Now, if Raz is fast, 226 is not quite fast enough. Yeah, he's not even glyphed or really built, looks like. Let's move him to the collection. Yes, please. So the thing about Razzlevarg is he has a triple hitter on his A1, which is going to give you you're going to break that shield faster, right? But then he also has an increased speed buff for everybody, and he's got some AoEs for the waves. And then he gets faster over time. Plus, he's got a slightly better aura than Cardiel by 1. He's definitely too squishy. He's not currently fast enough. And I don't know that Thor is fast enough either. So I think we got to try the Kymar. I think that's our only option right now. Let's get that Kymar. So I think we wanted the second Kymar because he's the faster one. And so here on round 1, yeah, I'll just open with that. In fact, we don't need to use it either. I don't mind the sleep, but I don't think we need it. So we'll do this and do the same thing. Don't use. Now here's the question is, where is he in the rotation on the round 3? So he's actually faster than everybody. He's the fastest champion. That's a little bit problematic. Maybe we want the slower Kymar now. Okay. All right, so we're going to open here and then first choice. We'll just see what happens. Yeah, I looked at Zinogre too. So Zinogre, Razzlevarg are both great multi-hitters that help you break the shield really early, and that lets you get more decreased turn meter from your newts at the back of the stack, right? And they also have speed leads and stuff like that. So in fact, I think Zinogre is dungeon only, and she might be faster. She might be like 25% or something, or 24%. I forget, 23%. And Razzlevarg just makes everybody go fast because he gets faster every time he places an increased speed buff. No, you just have an opener. Bad Monkey, if you open with the A1, then the automatic priority will be to go to the reset. That's true, Shock. That's a good point. Zinogre is a Shadowkin for Mikage's A1. We're not really relying on Mikage's A1. Like, we're hoping to not have to rely on it, but if it turns out that that's something that we do need to worry about, we could always revisit that. Yeah, I'm trying not to rebuild any more champions. We've already spent like 30 million silver or something, and I've also now that I've looked at the gear, I don't believe the gear is there for a rebuild without stripping it off of other champions, and it just feels like that's always dangerous, you know, taking gear off of other champions. So I do think that Cintranos should be farmed heavily, and then there's a lot of forge materials here, so I would forge so much perception gear during the next PRCVC, which is next week, I think. So like a week from today it starts, I think. I'm actually surprising, like, not feeling great all of a sudden. I was feeling really good when the stream started. Now I'm like, I don't know, I'm off a little. There's a lot of flu at my wife's office, So she's been wearing a mask, which is smart, but it's impossible to be completely safe. I hope she's not feeling. I don't think she is. Kymar opens with his A1. Everybody uses their big skills. Kymar resets those skills on the second turn. Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't really care about the newt's A1. What I care about is the ally attack. That's what I want reset. So I'll show you what I mean. So he opens with his A1, right? And on his second turn, he's going to use the reset. But he's the fastest champion. The next fastest champions are ally attacker and ally attacker, right? So we get 2 ally attacks. Those are the skills that are going to be reset. In the ally attacks, we get the A1. And then they open with their A1 because we want them to, because we don't want them to, we want them to push the turn meter back. And then when the newts get their turn, they can do the blessed bash, but we want the ally attacks reset. I mean, maybe we don't. Maybe we don't care about the ally attacks getting reset. The question is, does the shield go back up? And it does, but does it go back up before or after the second ally attacks? So you're right. What we could do is we could open with these. And if we open with those, then they'll get reset along with the ally attacks. And then maybe the shield goes up at the right time. Yeah, it may be that one has to go A1 and one has to go A3. That the slow newt might not get his A3 off. It might go into the shield, which isn't the worst thing in the world. It's actually not that bad. You still hit decently hard, even through the shield. So, like, if we had the first newt use the A1s to knock back the turn meter, allowing the second newt to use the A3, how is that better? That's the point, right? Rather than just letting the first newt use the A3. I actually don't think it's better. I think it's better, even if the shield goes up, to just hit him with the max HP. Optimally, both newts would get a chance, right? But if we can't get both newts a chance, then whatever, let's just reset them. I mean, there's another idea here, which is like, the reason we brought in Lydia was not just for the increased speed, but also for like the debuffs, right? So what we could do potentially is use one of the newts to debuff the boss before the shield goes back up. That gives the decreased attack and the weaken. And then the next time we're actually nuking with a weaken on the boss, because right now we're not doing it. So we could do that. That would actually make some sense. Just like, the programming the AI can be really tricky, especially when you're changing champions. Like, you need to come in here, experiment, watch the fight. It's a 4-minute fight. You have to watch it 10 times, and it's like, so it can take an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours rebuilding and doing all this stuff just to get a Fire Knight 10 hard mode team like in place. That's just the way raid works, you know. And then the goal eventually is to get this dungeon down so it's like, you know, a 90-second run or a 60-second run or a 30-second run. And it's like you have the roster to do that on this account. You actually do, but we're so shy of gear that is end game gear. And by the way, the gear is not bad. The gear is not bad, but the really, really good pieces, I think, are spread around amongst, like, you know, 20 champions. And so when you have so many champions that are built and you use so many different champions and so many different solutions, you can't concentrate the best gear into, you know, 2 or 3 champions. Like, you don't get that luxury. So like if we had debuffed there, right? Okay, so the second new gets to go. So that's not bad at all. Honestly. Now if we reset, but unfortunately, do we have okay, so that was an ally attack, right? It's a full reset. Now we'll get another ally attack. And we should be done right here. 2 minutes 56 seconds. That's what we wanted. That's what we wanted. Okay. So that worked. And that's a better, you know, faster time. That's our fastest clear. So that feels good. we spent like an hour trying to fix this so it didn't, you know, didn't burn out our other solution. So let's just take one last look at Phantom Shogun here. What does this look like? Minute 31. Is that the newt that we pulled out? I want to try something. I don't know if it'll work, but I want to try something. There are so many champions. It's so hard to like focus on their faces. Um, all right, let's see. So let's see. That's 251 and 229. Okay. I don't know that it matters. I'm just going to do that. Let's just see. Let's just see how that works. I'm just curious. I think it's going to work fine. So the nice thing here about Rotos is his passive pretty much prevents him from being killed. And then you've got the strengthen from Lydia. Yeah, I mean that's better. It's a minute. You know, so that feels pretty good. I do think there's potential to speed this up too. There might be potential to speed this up too, because depending on the way that the turns work, you might not need both cleansers. I just did that because it was going to be simpler. But you know, 58-second clear. It's nice. Okay. I think we are done here for today. You got any last questions? I never looked at the arena team, I don't think. I'm assuming you're just cruising in gold 5. Yeah, you're cruising in gold 5. What am I talking about? Of course you are. Of course you are. The event team. Yeah. Oh man. I mean, you've pushed to 25, which is not bad. There are a lot of comps out there that you'd probably have access to. The question is, do you need to rebuild for speed? Because you have to speed tune for a lot of this. So one of the things that you can do here, this actually looks pretty good, by the way, is that you get Lydia to go, she debuffs and pulls the boss's automatic turn. Then you cleanse with Mithrala. I think she gets an extra turn. So that's the problem, probably. Because Lydia gives you 2 buffs and Mithrala gives you 2 buffs. So you're activating the boss's turn twice. So you might be better off with a cleanser who doesn't have 2 buffs. And then you go into Seer, who uses those buffs and, her damage to kill the enemy. But you're also using Geomancer, so you're trying to get the boss to take a lot of turns and kill herself on the Geomancer. Just don't. Let me see how it works. I'm curious as to how it's actually unfolding. Let me do it here on 24. Two buffs into a hit. Oh, you got to cleanse from her. Okay. I'm assuming now you're going to get the nuke from Seer. Yeah, that's not bad. I think it's a little bit weird because of I think Lady Noelle is faster than your Mithrala, and Lady Noelle gets feared, whereas Mithrala doesn't. So her cleanse is not as reliable. You might not need Lady Noelle. You might be able to bring in somebody else who's going to give you something more, either healing or cleansing at a different time or more damage. I mean, you have Pythion, so he's certainly an option. Obviously, Lady Noelle is void affinity, so you don't have to worry too much about what you're getting. But as you move up the tiers, like in terms of the ads, right? Because the boss is always void affinity, but the ads change affinity. But that looks pretty good for stage 24. I would probably farm here a lot for a while. And I'm sure you can find a solution in terms of champions, but the issue is definitely going to be speed tuning. So, yeah, I don't know that I have any quick advice to improve that for you, other than, there are a lot of compositions out there, and you have the roster. You have the roster. So go and look at the compositions and figure out if you can tweak some builds for a speed tune that's going to work there. So. Jack, it doesn't look like it. I was hoping to, but I kind of got stuck in this one. That's my own fault. That's nobody else's fault. I just didn't really like where I didn't want to leave it in a bad place. I wanted to make sure that we didn't break that Fire Knight team by going for that Sand Devils Necropolis team. So I'm going to be done. Probably I'll hang out for another 5 or 10 minutes and then I'm going to be done. So yeah, that's a good point. Shamil would work there in the dungeon. He's always nice. So potentially you could do that instead. Question is, do you have enough in terms of so what if you did yeah, no energy. What if you didn't do Mithrala and you brought in a healer instead? Even Cardiel. We could bring in Cardiel. That would be the speed aura. Shamail's going to give you damage, but also cleanse those fears. But then you have the cleanse from Cardiel for the decreased defense if you want. But he also gives you buffs for Seer. So that might be nice. You could probably work that. You don't have many gems, and you don't have any energy right now, so I don't want to break into that. But that's what I would consider. So let's go to... You know what we'll do? We've got 7 energy, right? We need 1 more energy. we got another energy coming. We'll get it. I hate that they do this. I hate that they don't let you in unless you have the energy. Like, let me in and then refuse to let me fight. That's fine. But don't let me into the dungeon. That's just annoying. So potentially what you could try here. Let's see. So is this what we just put together? This was for Phantom Shogun, right? So let's save this. Phantom Shogun. And then this was the new... No, that was nothing. That was not what we used. This was the new Fire Knight hard mode, right? So I think we can take this one out. We can replace this one. All right, so for an event dungeon, you could try Cardiel with Lydia. Where was Lydia? Forget where she was. Was she down near the bottom for some reason? No, she was all the way. This is driving me nuts. There's too many. Like, it says rank, but it's the +1s, that make it. It's like, I wish it just did it by the stars instead of... All right, I gotta do affinity again. Okay, so she is in the vault. No, she's right there. Where was she before? Oh, she was... Okay. Shamail. Geo. And Seer. So depending on... Like, the boss will eventually be too fast, I think. But if we open with that, and then we can open that, and then she can open with that. I think that might work. But eventually you're going to be going too slow. So as you push up, I think her max speed is like, I think the ads, there's a Kaya or something who has like a 310 speed. So you're going to need to get faster. But the Cardiel here will help you a little bit with the aura. So you're getting 19% here, which, for most of these champions is around 19 speed. And that's going to help you for a couple of more stages. But yeah. Yeah, when you have this many champs, it's always tricky. You get sort of stuck, like when you go to a restaurant and you open a menu and there's like 50,000 things in the menu and you're just frozen. What's it like? Analysis paralysis. It's not that, but it's whatever it's called. Too many options, and I do think that can be a problem here, especially because as you try to optimize specific builds or specific solutions, I should say. So let's say you're trying to optimize Fire Knight 20 or Fire Knight 10 hard mode. The same champions may also factor into other solutions, but they need to be built for both, and being optimal for one makes them suboptimal for the other. And as a result, well, I have another copy. So what do I do with the copy? Or there's another solution that's like a meta solution. Maybe I do that. And then it's like, so there's a whole domino effect, a cascade effect. And it's a little bit tricky within a small window like this to know what all the domino effects are going to be. So my hope is we didn't like hurt a Hydra team, but we may have. We may have hurt a Hydra team, and it's like we may have helped a Hydra team. We may have done something good here. But I do think, the nice thing about specifically Sand Devil's Necropolis is getting those dusts now, being able to farm the turn attack tournaments really quickly, get those extra immortal soul stones, But I would say overall, the advice I would give to this account is, first of all, you want to forge a lot of perception gear, like burn through these resources, and also consider, if you can farm any other sets that are good for filling in the gaps. And then the second thing is Cintranos, like getting into Cintranos every week, not every week, every day, but every rotation, and clearing out as many of the bosses as you can in hard mode and getting that 5 and 6 star Merciless gear. That's really going to be important because Merciless could replace a lot of the sets that you probably have on these other champions. And for instance, when we looked at the, like your newts, right? We were speed tuning your newts, or we were trying to speed tune your newts. But simultaneously, like you'll look here, what I did is I utilized the sets to help me get where I needed. It's not perfect. I'm not saying this is perfect. But if we look at your other newt, right, he's in all broken sets. There's literally like, you have one stone skin, you have one protection, I think, or whatever it is. Is it one? Yeah, one piece of protection, and then you have one piece of blood shield. And so you have these like 3 little things up here, but they're not actually 3 sets. They're just 3 pieces. So if you can get them into Savage, or you can get them into Lethal, or you can get them into Merciless, or you can get them into all Perception, you can get them, like there are a bunch of ways to build Newt that would potentially free up some of these pieces to then go on other champions and create more sets, right? More set bonuses. Get that stone skin. This is a nice stone skin boot. This is a really nice stone skin boot that deserves to be on somebody who has a full stone skin buff, like at least a 4-piece stone skin buff. It's a bit of a waste here. Was it good for speed? Yeah. And since we speed tuned, we cared about that. But let's go find a different boot that's giving us 57 speed. Let's go find it in a set that's going to help him. And that's where all that perception farming comes in, because you can actually use your charms, say, I want boots, go for that, and just try to get some 6-star perception boots. He benefits from the speed. He benefits from the accuracy. He doesn't really need a ton of ignore defense. He doesn't really need a ton of extra crit damage. You know, so if you put him in like a merciless set, which is a good set, I think. So here you get these benefits. You're like, well, why do I want to put him in a merciless set? Because he gets, 10% attack. It doesn't matter. You get the crit damage and the speed, which he wants. You could get the ignore defense if you like. But you could also just put him in a 4-piece, like 30% chance to reduce the cooldown. And then you could put him in a reflex. And you could do reflex, 4-piece, merciless, 4-piece. And now you get 2 chances to reduce that cooldown. You come back around to those A3s. Because he doesn't need all of the ignore defense and the crit damage and all the extra stuff. Now you're getting a ton of value out of, your Newt's A3. So you could try something like that. But my point being that, like, there are pieces that you have scattered about your account that could be very valuable on the right champion when it's actually collected together. Like when the set itself, whether that's Stone Skin or Protection or Savage or what have you. So think about consolidating that. And maybe what you want to do is wait for like a free gear removal weekend and then just look around. You don't have to take gear off of everybody. There are too many champions. I wouldn't do that. Like you'll end up in another sense of paralysis. But like look at the champions who are built really well. Like, okay, this guy's got a full Savage set. I like where he's built. His speed is right. His crit damage is right. His crit rate is right. Everything is right on Leorius. We're going to put him aside. We're going to save him, right? Even use your little, like you can come in here and use your preset manager. And you're like, I like Leorius. Let's do a champion preset. Save it. It looks like you've already got it here. Let's make sure he's locked in. So even if I mess it up somehow, I can get back to it, right? And do that for, your top 10 or 15 or 20 champions. And then pull gear off at everybody else, right? Just start stripping those gear pieces, start shifting them around, consolidating them. And it's generally better to have like 25 perfectly built champs than 500 okay built champs. You know what I mean? There are some exceptions, but in most cases, like I do everything in the game probably with less than 30 champions. And I have, I have the other champions for fun when I want to mess around or for little things like Doom Tower secret rooms. But for the most part, like you got crazy, crazy good champs that could be, you can consolidate a lot. Like Riho should be built. She's actually pretty good. She's great. You don't have to do anything with her, but you got a +4 with her. You got a +4 Mashallah. You got a +4 Leorius. Like these are the champions that I would look at first. My +4s, my +3s. The champions that really factor highly, the ones that can add a lot of value and utility. And then, care less about the ones down the line. And don't let them soak up the good gear. Yeah, a preset is really simple. All you have to do is you come in here to the preset manager, right? Click that on. Now, let's actually go to maybe a champion who doesn't have one. What is okay? You are currently trying on this. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what's going on? All right. So yeah, let's go back. Let's go back to, it doesn't matter, but let's go back to Leorius. So let's say we really like Leorius's build. You come to the preset manager, right? And then you see this little button down here, this like download button. That's the save button. So you would just click on that and you can do it as a champion preset or as a global preset. Okay, so if it's a champion preset, you'll only see it when you're on the champion. If it's a global preset, you can see it at any time when you're on another champion and you can potentially steal it for somebody else if you like it that way. So let's say we want to just say like, Leo main or whatever. Like this is Leo's main build. We're going to save it as a champion preset. Okay. Now, if we want to save it as a global preset, we can download it and we can say, this is damage 1. Save it as a global preset. Right. So now when we're in the global preset tabs, we can see that. Otherwise, we only see it when we're on Leorius. So if we go on to a different champion who's a damage champion or whatever, and we go here, filter, preset manager, we can see what he's wearing, right? What his preset is. But if we want to go over to global presets, we're like, oh, hey, now I've got Leorius's. Let's try that on. I'm going to steal that off of this guy. I'm going to throw it on him. It's going to cost me $1 million to equip it, but I can do it when it's, a free regear or whatever. So that's how you use a global preset to move gear around. But the other thing that you can do is you can say, okay, I want to make sure on Leorius that I don't lose this build. This is how I use it most often. So I have a champion preset for Leorius. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the fitting room, right? And I'm going to say, okay, I want to try this on. And, I want to try this on. I want to try this on. And I'm changing the build, and I'm going into other sets and I'm doing all this stuff and I'm messing around with the build. And then at some point, maybe I equip it, maybe I don't, whatever. Maybe I change 1 or 2 pieces. And then I realize I don't like the chain, right? Like I hit equip here and I realized later on, maybe I needed that piece back on Leorius. I wanted whatever. Or I just wanted to do it for one particular fight to see if it would work. And then it didn't work out. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go back to the old build. So now I can come to the preset manager and just go, oh, let's go try on the preset. It's back. So if you're trying to say, like, if rather than trying to remember the pieces that are on your champions, you can just go ahead and have the game remember them, and then you never have to worry about losing it. So that's how you use presets. Okay, so I think that's it for today. I'm sorry I didn't get to a second takeover. I kind of feel like I'm coming down with a cold. I hope not. I'm gonna go take some vitamin C and have some dinner, and I'm gonna try to rest tonight. But I've got a lot coming your way this week. I've got so much stuff to tell you about, guys. Holy cow. Like, my whole raid world is turned upside down in the last week. There's so much stuff going on. So I've got to update you on that. And I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to do that. But we're going to have collabs this week and next week. I've got like 4 collabs in the hopper. So they're all coming. And then I've got a whole bunch of other things like a challenge update. I got stuff on my main account. I've got a lot of YouTube stuff I got to tell you about. Sponsorship stuff I got to tell you about. So much stuff I got to tell you about. So there should be a lot of videos this week. By the way, if you have not checked out my King Arthur's video from today, and you play King Arthur Legends Rise, go check it out because there's a free promo code for everybody. They're like unique promo codes, and you can get yourself like 10 special summons and some other stuff as well, some stamina and gold. So if you play King Arthur Legends Rise and you haven't yet used the promo code, go check out my my video, and it's got a link there in the description, and you can get yourself a promo code. But yeah, that's it for today. Good, Keith. I'm glad you learned some stuff, and I hope it helped. And yeah, and that's it. Paradox of choice. That's what it is. Adam Murray. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right, y'all have a good one. Hopefully I will see you next week, and we'll have 2 takeovers next week. That's my hope. All right. Have a good night. See you soon.